Dear student, today I'm gonna talk about data explanation paragraph of writing tax 1 and writing tax 1. In data explanation there are two paragraphs, feature 1 and feature 2. In previous videos I talked about paraphrasing and overview. After paraphrasing and overview, those two are feature 1 and feature 2 paragraphs, which are data explanation paragraph. Okay, so in this way altogether there are 4 paragraphs in writing tax 1, and if you write down in this way your writing will be perfect. Okay, so especially here what you have to do is firstly, in order to explain the data you must be very much careful that if there are two figures you are not allowed to explain the two figures in two distinct paragraphs, or one figure in one paragraph and another figure in another paragraph is strictly prohibited. What you have to do, you have to write you have to make the comparison, you have to make the analysis, then you have to explain the data. Okay, so in order to explain the data, comparison analysis is which may be quite complicated, but the easiest way is that try to use those word vocabularies as far as possible. In that situation what happens, you automatically compare the data. Okay, now let me explain the meaning. Okay, accounted for, what does accounted for mean? Accounted for means it indicates the data. Okay, for example, how many students are there in this classroom? The number of students in this classroom accounted for 10. Okay, so it happens. So the next one is that accounted data indicates. Okay, there in pie chart paragraph data is given, and while explaining the data what you can do, you can use this term, and respectively. Okay, respectively means in order. Okay, for example, if Ram and Sita prefer tea and coffee respectively, in that situation what happens, Ram prefers tea, Sita prefers coffee, respectively indicates that is in order. Okay, so it happens. So if you don't write respectively, it is not clear that who prefers tea or who prefers coffee. It may be also understood that both Ram and Sita both prefer tea and coffee. It may be understood if you don't use the term respectively. That's why this term is very much important. And then at the time of writing data, there are different for example, the student speaking Japanese language and Chinese language are 10% and 20% respectively. In this way you can just write down the data. Okay, so that's why in this way you can use the term respectively. The next one is approximately, means nearly. Okay, as I told you, in the bar graphs like this, okay, nobody knows the data. Okay, for example, this one goes up to here. What does it mean? This is 25% or 26% or 27%? Nobody knows. In that situation, what you can do, you can use the term approximately. It is approximately 25%. So what? That's good. Okay, you can use in that way. So in such type of figures, okay, writing frequent approximately seems to be monotonous. So what you have to do, you have to use the other synonymous words. For that I have given those terms, almost, around, about, nearly. Okay, the next one is increased. Okay, if the data gets up, in that situation we can use the term increased. And frequently data is increased, definitely, twice or thrice data gets increased, obviously, while comparing the two, or while comparing any sort of data explanation. Okay, at the time of comparison what you have to do, you have to compare. At the time it gets increased, definitely. So once if you use the term increase, then again using increase, it seems to be monotonous. Once you can use the term increase, and another time use the term rose up and climbed up, went in and again increase, no problem. Okay, so it happens. Then in the same way data may get decreased, definitely. At that time what you can do, you can use the term decreased and again declined, dropped, fell down. In those cases you can use the term dropped only in the case of dramatic fall. Okay, and because if it fell down dramatically, then you can use the term drop. Okay, because drop means it there is wide range. For example, the apple gets dropped from the tree. it happens. That's quite different, okay, in that way. Okay, in the case of dramatic fall of the data, in that situation you can use this term drop. Okay, so dramatically, in very wide range, in very big difference, okay, that is called dramatically. So means if data gets increased in the very much wide range, in that situation use the term dramatically. Okay, but if here is slightly, if the data gets increased or decreased little bit, okay, or to some extent, or in very much few degree, let's say, in that situation, what you can do, you can use the term slightly, but neither it is slightly nor it is dramatically, but somehow there is a wide difference, wide increment or wide decrement. In that situation, what you can do, you can use the term significantly. Okay, then gradually means in one in slow motion it goes. Okay, in that situation, what you can use the term gradual. Okay, slightly I already told, experience an upward trend. Okay, in this situation, okay, sometimes experience an upward trend you are not allowed to write in the overview paragraph, because complete data is not shown like that, but 2 or 3 data you can see like that. In this situation, what you can do, you can use the term experience an upward trend. Okay, so the next one is that experienced or downward trend. If in same case, okay, if the data gets downward, okay, in this way, so in that situation you can use experienced or downward trend. Then the next one is fluctuated. If it gets fluctuated, sometimes up and sometimes down, in that situation you can use fluctuated. Okay, if the data, now half and quarter means, half means data gets half. If one data is 10 and the data is 5, in that situation what you can do, you can use the term half. Okay, you can also do, if one data is 5 and another data is 11, in that situation you can use approximately half. One data is 5 and another data is 9, in that situation also you can use almost half. Okay, it happens. Then the next one is that 3-fold, 5-fold, 7-fold. Fold means times, multiply by. Okay, if one data is 12 and another data is 4, in that situation you can use what? 3-fold. Okay, 4 multiplied by 3 equal to 12. That's why in that situation, like, what you can do, you can use the term 3-fold, 5-fold, 7-fold, 9-fold. In this way you can explain. Okay, so while explaining the data, try to use those words, okay, more and more. Okay, at any cost. Okay, just see the figure, and when you see the figure, and then just your angle should be like that, which one word you have to, so you can use. Okay, or what you must, your concept, your perspective while just observing the figure. Okay, what you have to do, which word can be used, okay, in what situation. Try it in almost in all the sentences, try to use any of the words, okay, as far as possible. Okay, how much or how many words are as more or as much as words you use those words, your writing seems to be pretty good. Okay, that's why, so try to use those words.